You won't be inclined to make all the necessary changes if you don't make critical mistakes that cost you way more than just money. Mistakes that involve the depreciation and multiplication of your very own dignity to the point where you'll eventually and inexplicably hate yourself for adhering to such ghastly life principles. Very few things hurt more than the realization that comes from the dire consequences of your ineptness and foolishness within your autonomy or self-governance. You can blame your parents for failing to teach you all the fundamentals of human autonomy necessary for you to navigate this unforgiving world, or for inducing in you the soft, sugar-coated, suboptimal rule book that does not allow you to adapt accordingly. Regardless, it is still your responsibility to acknowledge and eventually correct those mistakes, allowing you to come out of that poisonous, treacherous, and detrimental flower pit that is being a nice guy. Nice guys will always be the ones that are the most existentially miserable, and it's because of, number one, foolishness. Number one, they morph themselves according to other people's opinions of them. Nice guys try their very best to satisfy others' points of view because, even though they secretly have their own, they are afraid to virtually express themselves due to the dreadful fear of rejection, ridicule, and abandonment. They muster themselves to passionately agree with everything anyone they consider superior to them says, to earn their approval, which, in this case, is everyone. They have no confidence in their self-esteem and solely depend on people's assessment of them to feel accepted. So they can't commit to anything, they stand for nothing, and will continuously jump from ideas to ideals depending on what the majority decides. They are fickle, inconsistent, and have absolutely no integrity to impose themselves with. People can sense or notice this very easily due to their overly timid, agreeable, and irresolute demeanor, making them untrustworthy, dishonorable, and easy prey for people to take advantage of due to their lack of, or even complete absence of personal boundaries. And speaking of taking advantage of people, foolishness. Number two, nice guys believe people pleasing will get them genuinely reciprocated with respect, admiration, and intimacy. Their internal acknowledgement of their lack or absence of value and their vivid desperation to feel belonged are acknowledged and appreciated within the community, compels them to sacrifice their self-respect or dignity to lick other people's asses, suck other people's clean, wash other people's feet, and wipe other people's flaws, often when they are absolutely and utterly unnecessary and uncalled for, just for the sole purpose of receiving some pleasant reward to make them feel cherished or admired. They have little or nothing to offer to the table. That is why they go so far out of their way to beg for rewards. Please, can I have some change, sir? I'll wash your windows for it even though it's already cleaned. Nice guys are what people inadvertently identify as expendably exploitable. This is just how people naturally respond to those individuals who have no self-respect and display worthless behaviors of disposable utilitarianism. What they're doing is not charitable generosity, it's deceptive covetousness that sadly is very noticeable. Foolishness. Number three, they hate confrontation and will try their worst to avoid or disregard them, either indirectly, reluctantly, and disingenuously making amends, or through drama queen-inspired passive-aggressive behaviors. The main reasons why they avoid confrontation are because, firstly, they are incapable of properly handling and dignifying confrontation, as they lack the necessary social interpersonal skills. Secondly, the more common reason, they are afraid of being exposed for their shortcomings or malicious intentions, so they avoid confrontations to hopefully draw negative attention away from themselves. In simpler words, if any person genuinely and sincerely did not commit any malevolent conduct or intentions, he or she would not feel hesitant or fearful in confrontations or call-outs. Nice guys are always vividly worried and agitated in confrontations, and coupled with their fickle-minded mentality, it makes them even more untrustworthy, unreliable, and worse, not worthy of anyone's respect or time, because they can't even bring themselves into honest and sincere admission or deliberately prove their statements. Foolishness. Number four, They believe they always deserve the best for being who they are. We're constantly told that we are loved no matter what, that we all deserve the best regardless of how dire our circumstances are, and that the world owes us the gratifications we are bound to receive in this life. Let's be honest, nice guys buy into all of this superstitious nonsense, aka the victor mentality, because no one appreciates them, wants to be their friend, or even wants to be in a relationship with them. Both the shortcomings they possess and the circumstances they are suffering from are usually what they tend to egotistically, extensively, and ignorantly justify as a blessing. Nice guys say that they're being who they are, but what they are is what society implied or imposed on them to be like for the moment. And even if they're actually who they say they are is not desirable, appreciable, and aspirational to the evolution of humanity. Because again, a man with no self-respect, dignity, and integrity is a man without valuable and productive character. No matter how much you like to become unapologetic, people will further despise you. Understand the difference. If you are inadequate for anything productive or desirable, your dismissal of criticisms will add further to your already dire reputation. And finally, one that wasn't mentioned but is still very noticeable. Foolishness number 5. They believe constant disrespect will eventually be overturned through endless self-pity. When all else fails for the nice guys to get their much-desired respect and approval from people, they resort to their ultimate weapon, crying like a little child, nodding heads, licking ass, and pointing fingers always to nothing. The only thing they can do is induce or provoke any available sympathy from other people, self-deprecating themselves into an oblivion mess to desperately request a social petition to receive voluntary reluctant praise, a hug, a kiss, or if they're very lucky, approval from an absurdly overweight 304. And as kindly as I want to say this, in the end, everything will be futile for them if they refuse to make a change. The only thing they will receive after all those monumental efforts is 2 pleasant words on their faces. Oh, nice guys. Nice guys. They feel that through doing the right things they will get rightfully rewarded, while in reality their idea of the right things comes from an insincere, insecure, and, let's be honest, a complete lack of genuine intentions. So basically, they're betraying their righteous moral compass. The sad thing is, like I said, everybody can easily see through this. And I know I sound very harsh so far, and it's because I intended to wake them up from their miserable existence. Because no matter how many times they try to deny it, they know what they're doing.